Shreyansh, a bright 10th grade student, spent his afternoons in a workshop filled with whirring gears and glowing screens. His latest project, the Aether Drifter, was an ambitious flying device, but it needed a powerful engine. "Just a little more force," he muttered, trying to push a heavy, cylindrical component into place. The engine component, however, barely budged. It slid a few inches, then stopped. This was a classic case of translational motion, where a force causes an object to move in a straight line. But the friction was immense. He needed a different approach. Next, Shreyansh had to secure a massive, circular power conduit. It needed to rotate precisely into a locking mechanism. He tried pushing it from the side, but it just wobbled. "This isn't just about pushing," he sighed. "It's about turning." Just then, his friend Akari walked in, a holographic tablet in hand. "You're dealing with rotational motion, Shreyansh. The turning effect of a force or torque depends on two things: how strong your push is, and how far from the pivot you apply it." She pointed to the conduit. "Try pushing further from the center." Shreyansh understood. He moved his hands to the outermost edge of the conduit, applying the same force. With a satisfying clunk, the conduit rotated smoothly and locked into place. "Wow, Akari, the perpendicular distance really makes a difference." Suddenly, a small, auxiliary rotor on the Aether Drifter began to spin wildly, first clockwise, then anti-clockwise, seemingly on its own. "Uh-oh," Akari exclaimed. "Looks like an unbalanced moment." Professor Kenji, their mentor, entered, adjusting his spectacles. "Ah, a classic case of a couple. Two equal and opposite parallel forces, not acting along the same line, creating pure rotation. You need to apply another couple to counteract it." He showed them how to adjust two small counterforces on the rotor's base. With the rotor stabilized, it was time for the Aether Drifter's maiden flight. But first, it needed to be perfectly balanced. For true flight, the machine must be in equilibrium, Professor Kenji stated. And that means finding its center of gravity, the single point where its entire weight appears to act. They used a series of sensors and counterweights, applying the principle of moments. The sum of clockwise moments must equal the sum of anti-clockwise moments, Akari recited, adjusting a weight. Only then will the net turning effect be zero, and the center of gravity perfectly aligned for stability. The Aether Drifter lifted off, a marvel of engineering. A central gyroscopic stabilizer spun rapidly, maintaining its orientation. "That's uniform circular motion," Shreyansh exclaimed. "The tension in its supports provides the centripetal force, pulling it inwards to keep it in its circular path." Professor Kenji added, "And the feeling of being pushed outwards, away from the center, that's the centrifugal force. It's a fictitious force, an apparent outward pull due to inertia, but it's crucial to understand for designing stable rotating systems." The test was a resounding success. Shreyansh looked at his creation, understanding the intricate dance of forces that kept it aloft. From simple pushes and pulls to rotational moments, the crucial center of gravity, and the dynamics of circular motion, every principle of force had played a vital role. "Force isn't just about strength," Professor Kenji mused. "It's about understanding how the world works." Shreyansh and Akari nodded, already brainstorming their next invention.